Good day. How are you? I hope that you all are fine and you all are enjoying the second annual online summit. My name is Treldon Layne, and I am going to discuss to you, with you, um, when you think with love, there's no room for hate. And why is that important? Because once you think with love, you have that embodiment to understand that love is the ingredients that everything else is built upon. And if you consistently think with it, dwell with love, you will be more happier and you will be more full because you're thinking with the very source of what life is feed upon, and that is the ingredients of love. I'm going to give you the synopsis of the program. I'm going to read. With love, you can heal the world, including yours. But how can you achieve it? First, by understanding that we are people who possess the innate ability to love. To grow as a person, we need to love ourselves. True love and love is filled with meaning. Eliminating the hate within us is one step of the healing process. That is the synopsis of what I am going to discuss with you all today on the second annual APA Page Summit. Now, you may wonder, what is love and how can we acquire it? Let's first answer to understand everything, so everything is flowing. Let's first answer, what is love? I'm giving you a definition. Love is a complex set of emotion, behavior, and belief associated with the feelings of affection, protectionist, warmth, and respect for another person. Are you hearing these words? Love is a complex set of emotion, feelings, behavior, belief associated with the feelings of affection, protectionist, warmth, and respect for another person. So once you understand what is love, you can move forward progressively. But we also have to answer, what is true love? Love is when you choose to be at best when the other person is not at their best. Love is when you want is never as important, but what the other person needs and wants is always paramount. Why is that important? Because when you put yourself in somebody else's shoes, put yourself in somebody else's problems, you can grow and you can achieve. And I can tell you from my personal experiences, love is very important because nobody wants to be hated upon. We all want to be loved. We all want to have that source to say, hey, I appreciate you. I appreciate what you have done. I appreciate what you have contributed. We all want to have love, and that's a fact. So we have to ask ourselves, do we have that love? And can we acquire it? So let's go to an oxymoron of love. The oxymoron of love is hate. Let's understand what is hate. Hatred or hate is an emotion. Hatred could invoke feelings of animosity, anger, or resentment, which can be directed towards an individual, group, entity, objective, behaviors, concept, or ideals. Hatred is often associated with the feelings of anger, disgust, and disposition towards the source of hostility. These are very strong words. These are words that hate does nothing good for us. It gives us problems. So let's understand what is real hate. Hatred is associated stable feeling of intense dislike for the other person, entity, or group. Hatred is distinct from short-lived feelings such as anger and disgust. When someone feels hatred for another person, they often spend most of their time factation, fact, factisting on their anger, contempt, or dislike or other people. That's hate. And they're fixing their minds on that concept. They're fixing their minds on that resentment, that hurt, that bitterness. I know firsthand what hate can do to our society. It has caused a lot of problems. Even in the world today, we have terrorists who have the belief that they can just shoot, kill, and destroy people by their own individual thoughts. So that's what hatred produces. It produces dislike for another person. It produces not having that sense of respect for that other person. And respect is very important. If we have to move forward progressively, we need to understand each other. And that is very important. Did you ever think that we would have reached in a world that is so advanced technologically, and we have people who are demonstrating hate towards anything that is progressively good? We have to understand is that hate only gives problems. All it does, it gives you problems. And once you have that problem, it will eventually explode. Because people can hold on to something for this amount of time. They cannot consistently holding anger. Eventually it's going to explode. So we are seeing the result of what hate have produced within our world today, our society. We have serious issues. How are these two different? Let's understand how are these two different. Love is love, as hate is hate. Means we all can tell when we are being hated or loved. That's the strong words. We can all tell when somebody don't like us. We can all tell when somebody appreciates us, loves us. Can you? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Your innermost heart will never lie to us. Only people lie to people, meaning what you feel in your heart, it can have some truth. So even though you are being hated upon, you are experiencing that hate, always look at the good. Because if you consistently look at the bad, you will always have that problem. You will always be worrying and pondering, is this the right thing? We have to understand the truer self never lies to us or any one of us. What we have in our heart eventually comes out. We could run, we could say what we want to say, we could dance whatever dance we want to dance. It comes out. Because if you believe something a particular way, it always comes out. Your thoughts shapes your reality. And that's the truth. So either you understand that hate and hatred, it creates more problems in our world. How can we learn to love again? How can we learn to appreciate again? How can we learn to value people again? With all the hatred out there, we still have room for love. Why is that? With all the hatred, there's still room for love. And you may wonder, why is that important? Because when you have love, when you have that place in your heart, you have a sense of peace that no one can take from you. And I am experiencing this today. My life wasn't the best life. My life wasn't the greatest. But I know personally, I embody or try to be a better person through the eyes of love. You may wonder, why am I saying that? When you think with love, there's no room for hate. Because if you focus your mind on love itself, how could you get hate? Is that love important? Is that love what feeds our society today? These are the questions we have to get answered. And we need to answer it as now. All of us need love when it comes from the innermost heart. Why is that? All of us need love when it comes from the innermost heart. When love is genuine, when love is pure, when love is sure to conquer someone else. If you give people hate, they will never like you. Talk to anybody in this world. You give them hate, they will dislike you. But think about this. If you practice giving them love, kill them with love, smother them with love, how will their personality change? How will they become a better person? How will they become holistically whole? We have serious issue in this world. And it always starts with self, who we are. Most of our problems is what we are. We create our problems by what we do. So meaning, love can be created by how we feel in our hearts. Love is an inner feeling. How do you feel? Have you ever thought about that? You have to heal yourself from hate. And why? We always have to heal ourselves. Because if we think about all the problems in this world, all the hatred in this world, we are going to be bitter and angry. But if we heal ourselves, if we understand that all of us have complications, have some form of problems, if we heal ourselves, will not our life become better? Self-hate, of course, a lot of problems in the world. Self-hate. Self-hate have caused a lot of problem in this world. That is truth. What is self-hate? If you appreciate yourself, if you love yourself, if you understand yourself, will you not have love? Will you not understand that true identity of who you are is loving who you are and not having that hate in your heart? The worst form of hatred in this world is hatred for self. Yes, I'm going to say it again. The worst form of hate in this world is hatred with self. I could give you a personal experience. When you're angry and bitter inside, all that hate, that resentment, what it does. When you feed on that anger, you feed on that disgust, you feed on that resentment, you are definitely going to get hate back. So that's the worst form of hate in this world, when you hate yourself. Forget somebody hating you. If you love yourself, appreciate yourself, will you not be better and greater and improved? Will you not want the best for your life? Will you not want what's greater for your life? That's the question we need to get answered. Why is self-hate so critical? Because most of our problems, when we hate ourselves, we don't appreciate ourselves. And I know something about life. You have to be appreciative. You have to understand what appreciation can do. It calms you, it simmers you down, it makes you become better, it makes you understand what your future can be. But if every time you look at the anger, the hate, the bitterness, would you ever find joy? Will you ever find happiness? The love of self is the most important form of love we have in this world. Why is that? Once you love yourself, you can love someone else. But if you yourself don't appreciate yourself, how could you love someone else? How could you value someone else? How could you? Love of self is very important. When you love yourself, you can move forward progressively. You could march forward in a holistically way. But if you consistently find anger and hatred and pain in your soul, will you ever find love? And that's the question we need to get answered. But self-hate is the worst form of hatred we have. Why is that? Self-hate. You hating yourself. You hating what you are. That's the worst form of hatred. Because if you don't see the good in yourself, how can somebody see the good in you? You have to see that good. You have to see that value. You have to see that joy. Is that what you want? Do you see the value in you hating yourself? Having anger towards self, towards who you are? Is that practical? Is it going to work for you in the long term or short term? Can you build a future, a better life, being hated within your heart, your own soul? That's the question you have to answer ASAP. Types of problems cause or hatred have caused are sex, ethnicity, disability, language, nationality, physical appearance, religion, gender identity, or sexual orientation have all sent hatred by misunderstanding people. Why is that? If we think we don't like someone, do you know that person? Do you understand that person? Most time, if you take the time to understand them, will you not see the joy in what they are? Will you not see the juice in what they can become? Most misunderstanding is formed by not being understood. Are you hearing what I'm saying to you today? Most misunderstanding is formed by not being understood. So let me ask you a question. By you hating someone else, do you understand them? Do you know them? And if we don't understand that all these types of hatred in the world today is because we don't understand each other. Do you understand your brother? Do you understand your sister? Do you understand your neighbors? Always strive to understand them. What you are thinking, is it your reality? So change. That is truth. What you are thinking, it is your reality. That's how you perceive your world. That's what you think about your world. Is that bringing you closer to becoming a better person? If your thoughts don't transform you to be a greater person, what's the sense? We have to get these answers answered. We have to find these answers. That what we think mentally comes out. So if we think things a particular way, we need to change our thoughts. We always have to remember that what we are thinking creates a reality. So if we want to think with hate, you will have nothing more than hate itself. I'm going to read that again. We always have to remember that what we are thinking creates a reality. So if we think with hate, we will have nothing more than hate itself inside. It comes to a mental power or thinking ability. It always comes down to our mental power, what our thoughts produce. What is it saying about us? We create most of our problems in this world. We create most of our dilemmas. Our delusional way of thinking. Is this what we want for our life? That our mental power can change by us changing how we think. I meant, it is normal to have such thoughts, meaning hatred, once in a while. But to dwell on them or live amongst them can really affect your life in a negative way. If you are thinking negative thoughts a lot, most likely you are dealing with negative emotions such as sadness, depression, apathy, fear, anxieties, and more, even more negative traits. Depression, sadness, fear, anxieties, all negative traits. Is that what you want? So you are thinking that way. You're feeling that way. Is that the future you want? Sorry, I apologize. I have the virus. I apologize. So, all these are traits. This is what hatred or negative way of thinking produce. In an interactive universe, when you change your thought, your life changes. This is because your belief, thoughts, and emotions are energy that influence and create matters and reality. In the simplest term, everything is energy and everything is connected. Your slightest thought or your emotion affects everything. Very strong words. I want you to take a stone. I'm giving you an illustration. And drop it in maybe in some water, a bucket of water. And you will see rippling effect. Every cause, there's a reaction. If I take this pen and I pelt it, will that be effect? If I take a pen and I drop it, that's the effect, it will fall down. Everything is energy. And the slightest connection to what we do is always coming down to energy. Our emotions are affected by everything we do. That's the universe we live in. So everything is energy. How do you know you're affected by negative effects? Watching in a passive activity, that's one. Two, that means we need to change. Too many thoughts in our mind. We need to think happy thoughts, happy emotions, happy sentiments. Don't try to stop the thought, meaning at peace. Be at peace with yourself. Are you at peace with yourself? That's a question we have to ask ourselves. Are you at peace? Watching the glass between the thoughts, making progress. Taking time to make progress. Practicing watching the thoughts as much as you can. To heal yourself, watch the watcher, meaning learn from expert in the business. Who do you view as someone as expert in whatever, in the field of living a holistic life, a better life, making a better future for yourself? Who do you view as holistic? We need to understand these things. And by us understanding them, we can move forward. Yes, hate is all around us, but we can control it mentally. We need to learn that hate will always be in the world, this world actually. As long as we have an opposition to love, hear what it says. We need to learn that hate will always be in the world, this world, as long as we have an opposition to love, but we can control it mentally by how we think. So your mentality can seriously alter the conclusive factor of self. So your mentality can truthfully alter the conclusive factor of self. To know you, you will know. Meaning, when you want to know yourself, you will take that time to invest in yourself. So your conclusive factor will be defined by what you find in your heart. Meaning, the power lies within. Meaning, you have the power to change your world. It's always you. Nobody else. You. You have that power. Change your world. Change your life. And if you have to grow as an individual, you need to eliminate the hate from our life completely. Hear this again. If you have to grow as an individual, we, all of us, need to eliminate the hate within our life completely. Are you on a road to eliminating the hate from your heart, your life, completely, holistically, by making yourself better? We're learning that love is the answer to hate, which is truth. Love is always the answer to hate. If you are being hated upon, you cannot expect to give hate for hate. It was going to cause conflict. But think about this when you give love. Try it. Have you ever tried it? Try practicing love. You might think in the world we live in today, it don't make sense. It's your life. By you being angry and bitter, having resentment, is it working for you? Or do you have negative thoughts, negative traits? Certain behaviors give you certain outcomes. And that's a trait that will give you negative trait, that's hating on people. We need to relearn. Love is the only and solely the answer to hate itself. I mean, by us marching together progressively, we can come to a better world once we understand that all of us have to work at it together. Why you may wonder, why am I saying that? Our brother keeper, by becoming our brother's keeper, if we need to work together, hold together, if we need to adopt positive attributes, you can change how people feel about you. You cannot change how people feel about you. So don't try. Just change your reaction to it. Let us show our appreciation for life. Rise up to it. By us rising up to it holistically, it means true love. We can appreciate each other. I would love for them to march together in a holistic way. Let us love the instrument we are inside our hearts, knowing that we all matters. We have concerns and all of us can benefit if we come together for a common cause. And that common cause is learning to truly love each other. So, holistically, we have to strive. We have to grow. Let us learn to love each other, appreciate each other, value each other. And by us learning that, we can march forward. Always remember, all of our problems stems from who we are. But if we understand the very conclusive factor of ours, who we are inside, will we not be better? Thank you very much. My name is Treldon Layne, and it was an honor to be a part of this summit. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much.